as we profiled successful Liberian entrepreneurs in and out of Liberia as they provide business strategies, entrepreneurship, and financial planning. Business Talk, Business, your one-stop shop in the world of business. It's on Love FM 105.1 every Saturdays, 2 to 3:30 p.m. Finance. We engage in insightful discussions with local and international business leaders, economists, entrepreneurs, and other professionals. Join Love FM 105.1 and Love TV Live this and every Saturday from 2 to 3:30 p.m. for the program Business Talk. Gain valuable. As for less on your preferred FM dial. Indeed, it's your program, our program, Business Talk. Business Talk gives you the insight of what to do in terms of making up your mind to venture into the world of business. We explore you through the rudiments of business, be it small business, be it large, or whatever it is, in as much it has to do with your involvement in 10 key points for business success. We said to you on the first key, we said must have passion. You must have passion. You must know, have that knowledge. You must have experience, set specific goals. You must have vision. You should create a mission statement. You should master your plan. You should have a team. The ninth, we say accountability. And the 10th is positive work environment. That is the start. To do those things that will
and other professionals. Join Love FM 105.1 and Love TV Live.
Okay, business talk is here for you, Mr.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, Rufus. It seems like we're having some internet issues again, as usual, but those challenges will not stop the show. It will not hinder the show. We continue moving, we continue progressing. So thank you so much for being on the show today once again as a co-host for Business Talk. Thank you so much. So forgive us, folks. We're having some challenges here with the internet, but notwithstanding, the show goes on. The show goes on. So while we'll continue, as Rufus was saying earlier in the opening of the show, we're going to be having a pop quiz today. We're going to be having a pop quiz today for the first for at least the first 10 to 15 or 20 minutes in the show to do a review for last week. So there will not be a review this morning. We're going to go straight into the pop quiz. This is Business Talk on Love FM in Monrovia, Liberia. And the great thing about the show today is that the show is going to be relayed. The show is being relayed on Joy FM Africa TV out of Kakata, Upper Margibi County today. So it is being broadcast through that medium as well on FM 97.5. So all of the folks in Upper Margibi will be able to listen to Business Talk being relayed through radio FM 97.5 to take this this show to even further distances. So that will be Radio Joy Africa on 97.5 out of Upper Margibi, Kakata. It is being relayed as we speak to a wider audience. Everybody wants to know about Business Talk. Everybody wants to learn. Everybody wants to grow. Everybody wants to increase in understanding so that they will be able to increase their business, grow their business, expand their business, and move their business from level 1 to level 2, from level 2 to level 3, so forth and so on, and gradually climb the ladder to become a transformational force in our nation, Liberia's economy, to create jobs and provide opportunities and change the status of people's lives from what it is to what it can be. So that's what Business Talk is all about. It's a non-political show. We don't want anyone calling on here to talk about politics. We don't want politics on this show. So if you call in and you start talking about politics, Rufus has the controls. We will cut you off. So I just want to kind of put that out there so everybody can be fully aware of it, that this is not a political show. This is all about business talk. This is where we educate, we inform, we tutor, and we enlighten, and we also coach. We coach Liberian businesses and other businesses across Africa. I've also shared this link on my LinkedIn page, so people all across the African continent, all across the world, can tune into the show and get some coaching points on how to grow their business, expand their business, and become a transformational force within their country, within their economy. So we're extremely excited today to be on the show, second edition of the show, to be on Love FM 105.1 FM, broadcasting out of Monrovia, Liberia. Thank you so much for being the co-host on the show here today once again. So what we will do while Rufus is manning the controls on the Monrovia, Liberia side, Rufus, how are you doing? How was your week? I hope your week went very well. I hope everything went very, very well. I've been seeing you on Facebook, smiling and greeting and talking about all of the good things. And let's have the link. Everybody wants the Facebook link, please, so we can share it across the universe here, so other people can tune in and offer some comment on the show as well.
Yeah, I'm okay. We wholeheartedly put in our all so that, like I always say, when the minds are developed, the eyes will appreciate the works of the hands. So we take on the time to share ideas. Those who have interest in doing business, they will have the insight of what to do. Some of them have gotten into business without the practical knowledge. But with business talk, they will have the in-depth analysis and the forward march to recalibrate um, from the intellect when it comes to issues that develop me as a person, so that I pass on to others who see me as a role model. Ah, is that Philip?
You're fading in and out, but I'm right here. Uh, Once again, thank you so much for the show this week, and let's go into the second edition. And to everyone out there, as I said earlier, thank you so much for watching the show. I hope everybody has their pens, everybody has their notebooks, everybody is prepared to take notes, and we're going to go straight into the pop quiz. Let's do the pop quiz. Rufus, can you please get a piece of paper there so the winners will be able to receive their prizes by SendWave. Today we're going to have 5 questions. Each question is worth $5 that you will be receiving by SendWave, and there will be basically the question from the topic of last week. For the topic of last week. So let's go straight into the quiz. I've got all my questions here, and we want to make sure that everybody gets a chance. Rufus is going to control the calls that will come in. This will just be a short segment because we want to go into the topic for discussion for today. So first question today is, as a business person, do you want to be a hustler, yes or no? As a business person doing your business, do you want to call yourself, or do you want the term define or to say that you are hustling, yes or no? Please call in with your answer. Rufus has the telephone numbers. Please call in with your answers. Or you can put your answer up on the screen there on Facebook. Okay, so as a business person in business, whatever business you're doing, a money changing, scratch card, or petty trader, selling rice, or whatever the case is, provision shop, or you are riding a pen, or you're riding a keke, do you want to define yourself as a hustler? Okay, Dr. Pitt McKennedy out of San Antonio said no. Yes, you have already answered the question correctly. Yes, the answer is no. You do not want to define yourself as a hustler, because a hustler, as we discussed last week, as defined and explained in Google, is somebody who engages in inappropriate, scandalous, and activities in order to get money or receive money. So that is not something you want to participate in. You do not in no way want to call yourself a hustler. And Rufus just put on the chat there the the telephone numbers, which is 0887 105 105 or 0778 665 073. So again, that answer is correct. Thank you, Dr. Pittman Kennedy, for putting it up on the chat. So let's go. Let's use the chat today. Let everybody fully engage the program. So the first answer is no. You do not in any way, shape, or form want to call yourself a hustler, or you don't want to call your activities in business as you are hustling, because hustling means you're using illicit, illegal means, and you're a trickster. You're somebody who's trying to trick people, manipulate people just to get money. No, what you want to say is you are conducting an ethical, true, honest business, and you are succeeding in that business. Okay? So the next question is, how important, I should say, what is the first key that we gave last week among the 10 key points for business success? The success essentials for business. What is the first point? What was the first key that we gave last week? Among the 10, what was the first key? What was key number 1? What was key number 1? Can somebody please tell me what was key number 1? What was key number 1 from last week? I'm reading the chat. I don't see it up on the chat. What was key number 1? What was the first key that we gave last week among the 10 keys? Can somebody please tell me what was number 1? Very good, Mr. Jusu Hassan. Yes, passion. Passion. Passion was the first key. Passion is what drives you. Passion is what motivates you. Passion is what keeps you focused. Passion is what makes you not to even be concerned about whether it's raining outside. Passion is what will motivate you to forget about what all is in what the various distractions from hindering or trying to stop you from achieving your business goal. Passion is key number 1. Passion is very, very, very important. Passion is important. Passion is the key. Make sure you are driven by passion. Not passion to make money at all costs. We're not talking about making money. We're talking about building a business. When you build a business and you do all the right things, you follow the 10 essential keys, automatically passion is going to cause you to focus, to drive, to be motivated, to avoid and not be moved by the distractions. Passion will keep you focused. Passion will keep you in your lane. Passion will drive you. And as a result of all of that passion, the money will come. So money cannot be a motivator. Okay? Very good. Who can tell me what is key number 3? What is key number 3? What was the point? What was key number 3? Key number 3. What is key number 3? Key number 3. So key number 1 is passion. What is key number 3? Key number 3. Can anybody tell me what is key number 3? What is key number 3? Key number 3. Key number 3. Key number 3. I'm looking for key number 3 here. Okay, I'm looking for key number 3. Key number 3. Key number 3. Key number 3. What is key number 3? What is key number 3? Key number 3. Key number 3. Is anybody there? Key number 3. If nobody has the answer, then I will give the answer and then we'll move on and then everybody will lose that one. Key number 3. What is key number 3 among 10 keys that we gave last week? Number 1 was passion. Number 2 was knowledge. What is number 3? Very good, Mr. Jusu Hassan. Jusu is very, it seems like this Jusu Hassan guy has really studied from all of the notes from last week. So he is right. Key number 3 is experience. Experience is key number 3. Key number 3 is experience. So it's very important for you to have experience in the area of business that you are involving in. So once you involve in business, you want to make sure that the business you're looking to get yourself involved in, the business you're looking to get engaged in, you want to have access to experience. You want to build your experience. You must have experience in that area. Okay. So experience is important. If you don't have the experience, then you find a way to gain the experience. Okay. So experience is key number 3. Experience in your area of expertise or your area of business that you want to engage in is very important. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jusu Hassan. So let's go to question number 4. Can somebody please tell me what is key number 10? Key number 10. 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 What is key number 10? Key number 10. So the quiz is on now, Rufus. It seems like some of the folks did not study last week. Some of the folks did not study last week. Some of them didn't pay attention last week, and now they're trying to figure out how to how to get their answers. So who can tell me what key number 10 was? Key number 10. Key number 10. What is key number 10? Key number 10. Can anybody tell me what it was? Key number 10. Key number 10. Key number 10.
Caller on the line. Let me get this person. Maybe they want to provide the answer. Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, how you doing?
Wonderful. What's your name?
My name is Leon Francis.
All right. You following the show?
Yeah.
Okay. What is key number 10?
Key number 10 is positive working environment.
Very good. Very good.
That's awesome.
Positive working environment is
My
key
name is
number
Leon
10.
Bobo Jr.
Leon?
Yeah.
Leon B.
Bobo Jr.
Boko?
Yeah.
B-O
CBOCO.
G-B-O-T-O. Boto Jr. All right. Your number? Call your number.
080
0880
56
eh?
56
66
56
66
56
56
9849.
9849. So you say 56
080 56 9849.
8. All right. Thank you so much, Leon Botu. Thank you. Keep listening to the show.
So Leon was very correct. So positive work environment was key number 10. Positive work environment. You want to have a very, very positive work environment whenever you're doing your business, because environment affects everything that we do. A positive work environment will motivate people. A very distractive, very destructive, very unproductive work environment would cause people or would cause your team to be distracted, and you will not be able to achieve your ultimate goal, which is success, to drive and to grow your business and remain focused. And it will also, a negative work environment will affect your passion. So if you don't want your passion to be affected, or you don't want your passion to be diminished, you don't want your passion to be reduced, then make sure as the business leader, you want to make sure you have and you maintain maintain a positive work environment. Okay. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that, Leon. Thank you so much for that. And that was the last question for the quiz today. So let's go into, so Rufus, what I wanted to do today for everybody is we will take 5 of these points and we will go deeper into these points, because what we did last week, we brought up the 10 points and we kind of just touched on them just a little bit as an introduction. So today we're going to go over the first 5 points and then we'll move into some other things. And then next week we'll do the additional 5 points and then we'll go deeper and then pick up some other topics. Okay. So we talked about point number 1, which is passion, right? Passion. So if you are a motorcycle driver or a pen rider or a keke driver, whether you're riding for someone or whether that is something that you're doing for yourself, whether you called your brother in the US or your sister in the US and asked them to invest in your business, to invest in you. The key is whether or not you bring the passion to achieve that which you're set out to do. So when you engage or when you go down this road of wanting to do a business, to start a business, to build a business, passion is the fire, is the fuel. Okay. So when somebody goes to set a fire, they have to take a match, right? They take a matches and they have to take gasoline because the gasoline is the fuel. Okay. And the reason why they take that, the third thing that they can't take, but it's always there is what? Is oxygen, because oxygen supports burning. So you cannot create a fire in a vacuum, because a vacuum means there is no air. There's no oxygen there. So you must take something to energize the fire, which is the fuel, and you must take something to start the fire, which is the matches. So that's why passion is so important, and it is required when you are going into business, when you're starting business. The passion must motivate you, must drive you. And this passion, one thing about this passion, very important to this passion is that what? You must not in any way be motivated. Money cannot be the passion. Making money cannot be what drives you. Money cannot be a motivator, or money cannot be the thing that drives your passion. Write that down. Please, everybody, write that down. Money cannot be the thing that motivates you. Money must not be, money cannot be, and money should not be the thing that motivates you. Money cannot be your motivator, in so many words. Money must not be, write it down. Money cannot be, and money should not be your motivator. Okay? You cannot be motivated by money. Why? Because if you are motivated by money, then ultimately you will turn out to be a hustler. Why? Because if money is your motivator, then you are prepared and you are capable of doing anything, whether legal or illegal, to make money, because money now becomes your motivator. So that is the reason why you cannot allow money to be what motivates you to succeed in your business. Money is the result of the work. Your passion must be driven by what? Your wanting and your desire to succeed. Your wanting and your desire to succeed must be your passion. Okay? So when you decide to go into the pen business, the transportation business, whether it's a taxi or a bus, or even if you're just an employee working for someone, or you're selling fire coal, or you're having you got a farm, or you're doing a garden, or you're doing anything that is some form of business, the most important thing has to be your passion. The passion drives you to succeed. The passion drives you to success. The passion drives you to be the best you can be at what it is you're doing. Passion drives, passion energizes you. Passion drives you to succeed in your business. So important, whether you're selling gas on the side of the road, passion is what wakes you up in the morning, gets you to your location on time. Passion is what makes sure that you have your supplies in the evening before you start your work in the morning. Passion causes you to focus because you are driven by success. Okay? Now, so that's enough for passion. So everybody understands passion now. Everybody understands passion. Passion is key number one. So let's go deeper into knowledge, which is key, which is point number two. So the second key is knowledge. Knowledge is important. Why is knowledge important? Because you don't go into the transportation business or trying to go and do the pan business or sell fish or sell beans or go into the money changing business, or you want to go into the scratch card business without having knowledge about the business you want to do. So why should you go into a business that you have no knowledge, no understanding about? That means you are definitely guaranteed to what? To fail. When you go into a business that you have no knowledge about, that means you're guaranteeing one thing: you're guaranteed to fail. So that's why it is so critical, it is so vital that you put time into what? Into knowledge. You must grow in knowledge. You must grow in understanding of that which you have come to know. So it is not just the knowledge of that area, but you must also understand that which you have now studied and come to know. Because what you want to do in your area of business, that you are driven by passion, is that knowledge is what? The Bible says knowledge is the principal thing, right? So you want to have the proper knowledge. And then when you have knowledge, you want to what? Grow in understanding of that which you have come to know. So it's almost like somebody who knows the timetable, from the 1 times 1 all the way to your 12 timetable. They memorize it. They have the knowledge, but they cannot explain why 4 times 2 is 8. So you have knowledge, but you have no understanding of that knowledge. So that's why it's important to spend time to understand your business, grow in knowledge, and then you grow in understanding of your business. Because what that will do for you, it will set you apart from the people who are competing against you. The other important thing about knowledge is that when you start growing in knowledge, you spend time in growing in knowledge of your business, the area where your business is located, the positive things about your business, the negative things about your business. What will make your business succeed? What will make that business fail? You spend time, you have a smartphone, or you can read different pamphlets. You read about your business. You grow in knowledge about your business. You seek knowledge. You build the proper relationships with other people so that you can increase your knowledge of your area of business that will cause you, or that will ultimately make you a better business person in that area that you are focused on. So knowledge is important. Never stop seeking knowledge about your business. Whether you're selling, whether you have a provision shop, gain knowledge about your customers. Do you know each of your customers that come by? Do you know them by name? Do you know why you're selling this product? Do you know what product in your area sells more than what product doesn't sell more? Or are you just getting into the business simply because other people are in that business? So knowledge about your business, knowledge in the business, knowledge about the area where you are doing your business, knowledge about your customers, the buying habits. So you spend time to grow in knowledge of your business, because the more knowledge about your business you gain, you acquire, you possess, it will cause you to be what? To be differentiated, to set apart from your competitors. Because not everybody is coming to buy from you. Some people will go past your store or your shop, or some people will take a different pan as opposed to yours. Some people will take a different keke compared to yours. Why? So you need to have better understanding. You need to have a better knowledge, and you need to spend more time gaining and growing in knowledge about your business. Okay. So knowledge is important. That is enough on knowledge. So spend time studying about your business, spend time growing in your business, and spend time in investing in knowledge. Knowledge is so important about the business. That's what sets one business person apart from another business person. Okay. What sets one business person apart from another business person is the knowledge that person has, the understanding that person has. It is the differentiator. Write that down. Differentiator. That is what makes one person different, one business person in the same area of business. We're both pamper and riders, but my knowledge and my understanding of this business sets me apart from the other business people. So knowledge is so important. Knowledge is so critical. Knowledge is very, very important. Okay. So knowledge is key. Knowledge is key. So let's go to number 3. Number 3 is experience. Experience. Write that down. Experience. Okay. So number 1, we talk about passion. Number 2, we talked about knowledge. Number 3, we now talk about experience. So now you see what's happening. We're building the foundation of your business, right? So as the Bible is clear, Jesus explains, right, that there were two people. One, and each person was given the same amount of money. They were given the same plans to go out and build their homes, right? It's there, it's written, it's not me. And each of those people, depending on their level of understanding, their passion, and their knowledge, they chose different locations to build their homes. One built their home where? On the sand, and one built their home on the rock. And what happened? The same conditions came to each of those homes that were built by those two people. The rain, the flood, and the rain. And what happened? The wind beat the water up against the two homes, and only one was left standing. Why? Because of the foundation. So it is so critical. It's so critical. It's so vital. It's so important that we get this, right? So you want to make sure that the experience in your business is critical. It's very critical. You want to gain the proper experience in your business, because when you don't have the proper experience in your business that you want to go into, then what happens? You will make a multiplicity of mistakes. You have multiple mistakes, and every mistake in business, what? Costs you money. Every mistake in business costs you money. So write that down. That's why experience is so important. That's why knowledge is so important. That's why passion is so important. Because when you're in business, what you've done, you've taken your money, you've taken your time, you've taken your effort, you've taken your energy, and where? You've put it into that business. So those are your investments in that business. That's why you must make sure that you have the proper experience, because every mistake in business that is caused by the lack of experience, that is caused by the lack of knowledge, is going to cost you money. And in business, we call that a loss. So you want to make sure, you want to make absolutely sure that you gain experience. Now, experience is something that you can acquire either by working in the area, right? You can get that experience by working in that area of business. So if you were a car loader and then you grow to becoming a car driver, and then what happens to you? You ultimately be given your own vehicle to run your vehicle to generate money. So you gain that experience. If you were a mechanic and you work there at that location and you say, you know what, I got enough experience and I can take that experience and go and open my own garage. So experience is important. The other part of experience that you can get is by spending time with people who have greater, higher, and deeper and much more experience than you. so that you can learn from them. You acquire experience from other people by being around them, spending time with them. It's not just spending time to talk foolish talk. It's not just spending time to talk all type of things that don't matter. You want to use that time with that person. So you ask them the key questions that will help you to gain what? With number two, to gain knowledge about your area of business. Because birds of a feather flock together. So you want to spend time. If you're growing in the transportation business, then you want to spend time with people who are successful in that business. So you can ask them questions that are key. Say, man, how did you succeed in this? What did you do that made you successful in this? So you want to spend time so that when you're asking the right questions, during that time, you're gaining knowledge and you're gaining experience by being with that person and discussing with that person. And in those discussions, that's where you learn. That's where you gain knowledge. That's where you gain some insights. That's where you get some revelations about the business that you can now take back to your own business and apply them. Okay. So it's so important. Experience, gain experience, but also spend time with other people who have greater and higher experiences more than you, so that you can now, draw from that, possess that, get that, and then you can bring it back to your own business and then apply it and get the right results. Okay. So quick recap: passion. We all know now that we must be driven by passion to succeed and not driven by passion to make money. Because if you're driven by passion to make money, then you're going in the opposite direction. Then you ultimately become a hustler, and then you start doing illegal things to make money. So we know that money must not be what drives you. So passion to succeed is the key. Knowledge is the principal thing. So we must make sure that we invest in gaining knowledge about our area of business. Make sure you invest in time, right? You invest in time. Time is the currency of life. So you want to make sure that where you're going to spend your time, that time you're not going to get it back. Like this day, July 6, 2024. We're never going to see this day again in our lives. This day is gone. So how are you going to spend your time today? You want to make sure you spend that time to gain knowledge from someone who will help you, okay, who can give you knowledge that you can apply to your business to make sure your business will grow, will expand, and will produce fruits. Knowledge. And experience, we talked about experience. So you want to make sure that you spend time with people who have greater, higher, deeper experiences so they can impart some knowledge onto you. You want to make sure that you practice, you keep practicing, and you find other places that are doing the same business like you. You can volunteer, you can go there, work for free. They may think that you're working for free, but what you're doing is you're gaining knowledge, you're gaining experience that you can then take and apply to your business. Okay. In the US, for example, you can go to the hospital, you can volunteer. If you want to be a nurse and you're going to nursing school and you want to gain some insight, some understanding about the field, you can go to the hospital. They got a whole office there, a volunteer office. You can sign up and you can volunteer. And what that would do is you will gain some knowledge. You can volunteer at different companies, different businesses, different places. And what that will do, it will help you to gain what? Experience in your area of business. It's so important. It's so important. Okay, experience. So that's number 3. So let's go to the next point. Number 4, set specific goals. Okay. Setting specific goals, very important to succeeding in your business, succeeding in your area of business, setting specific goals. Why do you want to set specific goals? Because you want to grow your business in a way, right? You want to grow your business in a way that will allow your business to truly succeed. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is simply a business without a plan is a plan of no business. So if you are doing a business and you don't have a plan or you don't have specific goals that you want to achieve, then what are you actually doing? You're just waking up in the morning and going down there and just hanging around, and you will end up spending money and it will not produce anything for you. So it's so important that when you're set off to go into business, you want to make sure that you set specific goals. What are you planning on achieving in 2024? If you're riding a Pampan, if you're a Pampan rider, you got your own Pampan, your sister or your brother from the US send you $800 and you bought your own Pampan. Okay, so what are your goals? What are you planning to achieve? So you've got to set specific goals for yourself. So how much, what is your goal for 2024? Do you want to go from one Pampan to two Pampans? Do you want to go from 2 to 3? Do you want to buy a new Pampan every 3 months so that at the end of the year you will have 4 Pampan? Okay, that's good goal. You started off with 1. So you got to set your goals and set your plans where you do it in this way. Write this down. You set your goal at the end of the year. What do you want to achieve by the end of this year of 12 months? That's how you start. What do you want to achieve at the end of the year? Write that down. So you set your goal based on what you want to achieve by the end of the year. And then what you do when you set that mark, you walk back 12 months to the beginning and say, okay, how can I break that down into 12 months? Meaning, what am I going to achieve every 3 months, every quarter? Because let's say you want to make $12,000 by the end of the year. That means you're going to make what, $1,000 every month. Very good. So that means if you want to make $12,000 at the end of the year, that you want to make $1,000 every month. So 1 times 12 is 12, right? Now, last time I checked, every month has 4 weeks. So then you take your $1,000 per month and you break it down into 4 weeks. So that means you've got to achieve X amount every week, and that times 4 should equal 12. It should equal $1,000, right? Then what you do, you take that number and you break it down by what? By 6 days a week. So that means this is what you have to do every day, times 7 days, times 12, right? And that what would give you your $1,000 per month. And then that would give you $12,000 per year. That's how you set your goal. You set your goal, you say, what is it that I want to achieve? I want to make $12,000 this year. That would give me $1,000 per month. You take your $1,000 per month and you break it down into weekly. So let's just do that math. So $1,000, you divide it by 6 days a week. That would give you $166 or $167 every day, right? Or every week. So that would give you 166 every week, or 166 times the 6 days would give us $1,000 a month, right? So $1,000 per month divided by 4 weeks in a month, that will give us that will give us $250 every week, and you divide your $250 by your 6 days, and that should give you your $41 per day. So if you do $42 a day times 6 days a week, that would give you your goal for the week. And then you take your weekly and you multiply it by your 4 to give you your monthly. And then you take that number, you multiply by 12, that would give you your year. So that's how you set your goal. That makes so that even though the $12,000 sounds a big number, but when you break it down by month, and then you break it down by week, and then you break it down by days, it becomes an easier number for you to achieve. So set your vision, set your goals, and then break down your goals into monthlies, and then break it down from monthly to weeklies, and then break it down from weekly into daily. And that will help you to remain passionate, to have knowledge, you gain the experience, and then to achieve your specific goals. Okay, everybody got that? So the example basically is you want to make $12,000 a year. You want to make $12,000 a year. You divide that by what? By 12 months in a year. That would give you $1,000 per month. Okay. So now we got $12,000 per year that you want to make. And then you break it down by 12 months in a year. That would give you $1,000 every month. And then you break your $1,000 down into 4 weeks in a month. That would give you $250 per week. Right? So that gave you $250 you want to make per week. And then you break your $250 down by how many days in the week you're going to work. So let's just say, for example, you'd say, you know what, Sunday, I'm going to maintain my pan, clean up my pan, go to church and pray for my business. So you divide that by what? By 6 days. And that gives you $42 per day. $42 per day. Okay. So if you want to go down even deeper, you say, okay, so now I'm going to make $42 a day. $42 a day. Then the question you ask yourself, how many hours am I going to work? Are you going to work for 8 hours? Or are you going to work for 12 hours? Let's just say for the sake of argument, you're going to work for 12 hours. So you're going to work from 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening. So you divide the 42 by 12 hours, and that gives you $3.50 per hour. So you want to make $3.50 per hour for 12 hours a day. That would give you $42 per day. That would give you $250 per week. That would give you $1,000 per month. And then you can make your $12,000 per year. Set specific goals. So when you break things down in that way, they become easier for you. They become easier for you to manage. They become easier for you to achieve. And they become easier for you to be successful. So saying at the pan rider that I want to make $12,000 per year is not an impossible dream. But again, you got to set your goals, set your plans, be passionate about it, grow in knowledge, and spend time and gain the experience so that you'll be able to achieve your goals. Okay? So that's point number 4. Set specific goals. And then what happens is, if you don't achieve that goal, if you don't achieve your $3.50 for the day, what happens? That means the next day you're going to have to work harder to achieve your goal. But you know what your goal is, $3.50. You're going to have to make $3.50 per hour. So if you don't make it per hour, then you have to work hard to make it even more. So you set your goals, and if you make more, at the end of the day, you make $50. At the end of the day, you make $75. That means you're running in the positive. You're running in the black. Okay, put it that way. Okay, you're not. If you make less than the $42 for the day, that means you're running in the red. You're running negative. So that means that's why you have to be passionate. That's why you have to gain knowledge. That's why you must have the experience. And that's why you must set the specific goals, and you must remain focused on achieving your goals for the day. It's so important. It's so critical. It's so important. It's so important. It's so critical that you set specific goals for your business and for yourself that you want to achieve and you want to be successful at. It's so important. So I hope everybody get that. Set specific goals. Set it for the year. You break down your yearly goals down to what? To your monthly goals. And then you break it down to your quarterly goals. So every 3 months is 1 quarter. So every year has 4 quarters. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, September, August, July, August, September, October, November, December. You break down into your quarterly goals, and then you break it down into your monthly goals. And then you break your monthly goals down into your weekly goals. And then you break your weekly goals down to your daily goals in terms of your dollars you want to generate. And then you break it down into hours, because everybody knows you want to start work at 8 and you want to get off at 4, or you want to work up until 6. And then within that time, you have your goal, you have your objective, you know how much money you want to make in that time. Okay, which is basically your sales. That's not your profit, that's just your sale. That's a whole different show we'll go over. Okay, set specific goals. Set specific goals. Very important. Everybody there? I hope everybody's following. Make sure you set specific goals for your business, because if you don't set your specific goals, then you will not be able to succeed at your goals, at your business, and be successful in achieving your objective. Okay. Now, let's go on to number 5, vision. So we're going to go deeper into these 10 points. Okay. Vision, 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 vision. What do you see? So that's why I was talking about, you set your goal for 2024, you want to do $12,000 a year. You want to, in this year, you want to be able to make, you want to grow from 1 pen to 4 pen by the end of the year. You want so that every quarter you can buy one new, every 3 months you want to buy one new pen, hire a new driver to be on there. So by the end of the year, you want to be riding your own pen or managing 3 or 4 other pen simply by what? By the seed that your sister sent you, your brother sent you, your uncle sent you from the U.S. You plant your seed, you water your seed. God brings the sun. He brings you can control putting water on there. And guess what? The increase comes from the Lord. That's how it grows. And then you tend your garden, and then you produce the fruits. So that's how it is. Your vision. What do you see? Vision, vision, vision. Okay. So it's very hard to run a business and succeed at a business, be prosperous in the business, okay, and bring about transformational change in your life and those who are immediately around you if you don't have a vision. People who don't have vision, then what happens? They fall into ditches, they fall down, they run off the road, they jump off of the cliff, and they ultimately fail. So it's so important that when you're setting off to do a business, you want to make sure that you have a vision. People don't set out to fail. People don't take their time, their money, their effort, their energy, and put all of these things together and then wake up in the morning and go out there and say, you know what, I'm just going to make very sure that I am going to fail today. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. But why does that happen? It happens simply because people do not plan. One, like point number 4, they don't set goals and they don't have a vision. So when you don't have a vision, what happens to you in your business? You try to do everything because you are not organized. You're not structured. You're like the potato grains, right? It's a vine. It grows everywhere. You get in the bush. It's just growing everywhere. So you don't want to be like that. You don't want to be like that. So when you go to Firestone, where I was born and raised, what did Firestone do? They planted rubber trees in a specific row, You stand at one tree, you look down, you can see 10,000 trees all lined up. Why? Because there's a plan to that. There's a structure to that, so that the tappers can go from tree to tree to tree to tree, and it makes it easier for the management to organize the farm and manage the farm effectively. They didn't just wake up in the morning and say, plant all the trees like this. No, there's a plan to it. There's a vision to it. There's a structure to it. There's a reason why when you go to your garden, you plant your pepper in rows. You don't just plant them anyway. You don't just take the seeds and throw it. No, you plant it in a structured way because there's a vision. You're thinking about how this thing is going to change and how it's going to produce for you. So it's important for your business to have a vision because there's a goal here. There's an objective. There's something you want to achieve. So that's why you want to do things in a way where all of what you're doing leads to a vision. It leads to a vision. There's a big picture. Some people say there's a big picture. There's an ultimate goal here. So that's why in a business, when you engage in a business where you're selling gasoline on the side of the road, where are you going to plant your garden, to plant your corn or your pepper or your vegetables? or whether you're selling, you got a provision shop, or whether your sister is your sister in the U.S. is sending you a barrel by somebody who's bringing a container, the things in the barrel. There's a vision that you have that's why you ask your sisters, "Oh, sister, I need your help. Don't send me no money. If you can then get me some deodorant and other things and stuff like that, American medications and stuff, I want to open up a provision shop so you can stop sending me money every week. And then what I'll do is make this first investment from me, send me 2 or 3 barrels. I will then be able to sell this and I will collect the money from here and send it back to you by Western Union so you can buy more things from me to prove that I don't want to be a liability for you, but I want to be an asset for myself and transform and change my life on this side. Okay, I want to move from dependency and liability. I want to be a contributor and a transformational person that can change my life and create jobs and transform and be a better part of Liberia's future. So this is key. I see your question, Giselle. Get to your question. The difference between vision and expectations. Okay, so it's important. Vision is important for your business. Vision is very important. It sets the long picture. It sets the long picture. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to be at the end of this year? Set your vision. Set your vision. So then you set your vision, you set your goals. Your vision is aligned with your goals, right? Your vision and your goals are aligned together. And then from that, you start walking along the path driven by passion, gaining experiences and growing in knowledge so that you will be able to achieve your ultimate objective and become a transformational person. So as you go on this journey, you are transformed in your business, which ultimately becomes successful, produces the fruit for you that you then become more passionate to continue growing and growing and growing. Okay, so vision is what you see, the big picture. Where do you ultimately want to be? You set your vision, you break that vision down into goals and objectives, right? Key performance indexes. You break it down from the yearly to the quarterly, from the quarterly to the monthly, from the monthly to the weekly, from the weekly to the daily, and then from the daily to the hourly. Okay. If you open up a cyber cafe, there's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I want to make $12,000 this year, or I want to make $15,000 this year. Set your goal, set your vision, break it down into months, and then break the month down into quarters, the quarters into month into weeks, weeks into days. And then you say, you know what, my cyber cafe, I want to make $100 every day. I got to sell $100 worth of data, people coming in here. I've got to make $100 US equivalent every day in this cyber cafe, because that will help me to what? With my vision and to achieve my goal that supports my vision of making $15,000 for the year. So that's so important. Your vision, vision, vision. You've got to be structured. When you see people who are successful, you're not supposed to be envious of them. You're not supposed to hate them. You're not supposed to say, well, you know what, that guy, no. When you see people reproducing success, that means that they have been able to put together, right? I'm trying to get this on the screen here. That means that they've been able to be successful in having the keys. And what they're doing, they're just repeating the keys over and over. They're applying this solution over and over, and it is what it is producing for them. That's what they're doing. They're just repeating the keys to success over and over and over, regardless of whether it is in Smenotes, Dolostan, Kakata, whether it's in Tori, whether it's in Wiala, or whether it's in 15 Gate, whether it's in Clay Junction, Virginia, Brewerville, whether it's all the way in Buchanan. No, they got their keys, and regardless of geographical location, they can get there and apply those keys and produce the results. That's what it is. So if you don't know the keys, that's why you need to listen to Business Talk. So you get the keys, and then we teach you how to use the key. Okay. So again, for today, we covered what? Passion. You must have passion. Number 2, knowledge. Number 3, experience. Number 4, set specific goals. And number 5, the vision, not only for your business, but for yourself. Okay, so where you want to go, that your business becomes the vehicle, right? When you say you want to go, if you at red light, you want to go, let's say you in Bonneville Estate, you want to go to Kakata today. You don't start walking to go to Kakata. You set your goal, you want to go to Kakata to watch the game, and you know what time you want to leave the house, to get on the road, to get the pen, to get to the main road, and then get the red light and get in the car. So the pen becomes the what? The vehicle that will transport you to your ultimate destination. That's what your business is. Your business is a vehicle. It's a pen, it's a can, it's a car, it's a bus, it's a truck, it's a Land Cruiser, whatever it is. It is the vehicle that will transport you from where you are to your ultimate destination. So that's why when you decide to go into business, to be an entrepreneur, you need to understand that your business is the vehicle. So if the business is the vehicle, why would you want to make sure you tune it up? It's in good condition, good spark plugs, you got gasoline, and you know how to drive, and then you study the road upon which you will drive so you don't fall off the road, you don't have an accident. So that's why it's important you get the keys to the business and you study those keys. You spend time and invest in yourself that will make you a better business person so that you ultimately succeed. So let's go to, so those are the 5 for today. And we will then be going over an additional 5 next week, which will be create a mission statement. Next week, we'll talk about the master plan. Next week, we will talk about building your team. Next week, we'll talk about accountability. And then we'll also talk about positive work environment. So we will go over those 5 keys next week as well. So let's go to some comments here. I think the couple of the people that made some comment, but the most important what I see down here, Jusu said vision is important. But then he asked a question here. Very good question, Jusu. Very, very good question. What is the difference between vision and expectations? Now, very important question. Let everybody who's listening, like I told everyone, bring your pen, bring your notebook so you take notes, because this is all about business and this is where you learn and you grow in understanding so that you will be successful. So your vision, as I said, your vision is your big picture, right? Where you ultimately want to be in 1 year, in 2 years, or 3 years, in 5 years. Okay. But now, expectations. So when you ask the question about expectations on yourself, or expectations for the business, or expectations for your team members, or expectations for the people who are working with you, where are you applying these expectations? So you're going to have expectations, right? Okay, in your business at every level of your business. So if you and I were working together on the project, Mr. Jusu, what are your expectations of me? What are you expecting from me? And then I will also have expectations from you. But the expectations I have from you, or that which you have from me, is going to be based on an agreement, right? On what it is that we're doing. So it goes back to the business plan one. It goes back to the vision. And it goes back to the understanding of what we've agreed to do. So that's why when you go into business with anyone, right? When you go in business with the pen rider, okay, let's take a simple expectation. Let's set the expectation here. So you woke up in the morning, you say, okay, my vision is to I'm going to be at, I'm going to go to Habel today. I'm going to go to Habel to the supermarket today. Okay. I'm going to go there. I'm going to buy 5 items. I'm going to buy eggs. I'm going to buy bread. I'm going to buy milk. I'm going to buy me some Maggi cubes, and I'm going to go and buy me some bath soap. You got 5 items on your list. You set your vision. I'm going to go to the Habel supermarket. I've got my money, and I'm going to buy these things. So you set your vision now, and the expectation that you set is that the Habel supermarket has those items that you're going there to buy. You set the expectation that the money you have in your pocket is enough to buy those items based on what you set the expectation on what the prices will be, right? Okay. And you have an expectation that when you get outside, you get a pan, and the guy is going to charge you a certain amount, and you expect him, right? You set the expectation that the rider will take you from where you are to get to Habel Supermarket. And you set the expectation that when you get there, the supermarket will be open. So when you get there, the supermarket is not open. Okay, let's start with the pan guy. You get on the pan route, you start going, and boom, 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 you're going, whatever the case is. You hit a rock, boom, the tire bursts. Okay. So what happens to your expectations? What happened to your expectations? So you expected the rider to take you there, but then because of the accident, that expectation is defeated. You're let down. You still have the other ones, but then the most important expectation is because of that delay on the road due to that accident or the burst in the tire, is the store going to be open by the time you fix the tire and get there? Does the pan rider, does the pan guy have enough money to pay to fix the tire? Are you going to find another pan along the road? Are you going to find someone to get another bike to get you to where you need to go? So expectations can be applied to different situations, different circumstances, and to individuals in your business. So that's why you must write this down. You must set for yourself every day reasonable expectations. Very important. You must set reasonable expectations. And what do I mean by reasonable? Let's go back to your vision. So you want to make $12,000 a year, but you don't have a dime. So, explain that to me. You're setting a vision of making $12,000 a year, but you don't even have $50 Liberian in your pocket. You don't have a job. You don't have a skill. You don't have any know-how. You don't, as they would say, right, in business, what are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table? You've got nothing to bring to the table, but you've set this vision and you set this goal of $12,000 a year. That's setting unreasonable expectations for yourself. So reasonable expectations have to be based on some realities. Okay, you've got to set your expectations based on realities in your business. And then also expectations when it comes to individuals and persons and people. You've got to set reasonable expectations, because the danger is, okay, listen to this, very important, write this down. Write this down. It's very dangerous to set high expectations for people, because that's where disappointment comes in. When you set extremely high expectation for people, then what happens? What happens is you get let down. You get disappointed because your expectation was not reasonable. It was not reasonable. You must set reasonable expectations for people, with people, when you engage in business. Very, very critical. Very, very important. That's why when you sit down to do business, you need to understand something very critical, okay, when it comes to expectations. There are certain decisions, I need everyone to write this down. There are certain decisions you make with your head. There are certain decisions you make with your heart. So you need to make sure that when you sit down to do business, you take a piece of paper, right? You take a piece of paper, you sit down, you draw the line down the middle, and you cross the top, and you put heart, decision with my heart, decision with my mind. So when your friend comes to your shop, to your place of doing business, and tells you, my man, rough in my house today, my man, please give me one fish cup. I got to feed my family. Okay. So the answer that you're going to give and the action you're going to do to produce based on what your friend has come to ask you, to give you something from your business to feed his family, is that answer to the decision to answer that question going to be from your heart, or is it going to be from your head or from your mind? Whatever the answer is going to be, is it going to affect your business that you put your time, your effort, your money into? You're waking up every morning, you're coming there, you're opening up that place. You got money invested, you got time invested, you apply your 10 keys, but now your friend is coming there and asking you to give him something. And now you got to understand, does that man have the ability to pay it? Or is he taking it for free? Even if you choose to give it to him for free, just remember there's a cost associated with that. It's going to reduce your goal for what you're going to supposed to sell for the day. It's going to put you in the hole. So is that a decision with your mind, with your head, or is that a decision with your heart? So that's why when you go into business, you're not being mean, you're not being selfish, you're not being somebody who's prideful or who's proud. No, you're in business, not so much to make money, but to succeed and to produce, so that this business produces for you and it transforms your life and move you from where you are to a higher level. So that's why the expectations, everyone has expectations upon them. We all walk in life with expectations, either placed on ourselves or what other people place on us. So that's why when you go into business, it's so important. It's so important to be straightforward, to be clear, and to always write things down. Put it down, put it in your notes. You always must write things down so that there can be no mix-up, confusion, or what we call in business ambiguity. There cannot be no doubt about what we said and what we agreed. I like you, I trust you, I believe in you, no problem. But let's write it down. Let's write it down. Let's write it down, let's sign it, and I'll keep my copy, you keep your copy. So just in case you die and something happens to you at the wake and at the funeral, when your children come and say, oh, we want our property, no, hold on. Before daddy died, yeah, did daddy give you guys a copy of the paper? No, well, unfortunately, that's fine. But here's the copy of the paper that your daddy and myself signed. He took $50,000 from me. He said, if he doesn't pay the money, then I should take the house. Now, I'll be a good man, a good businessman. Y'all can stay in the house, but guess what? You're going to have to pay the rent because that's now my house, because your daddy signed the papers over. So you got to write things down, and you've got to be very, very important. It's very important that you set reasonable expectations when you go into business. And those expectations, let me expand more. Those expectations should be based on your what? Let's go back to the key. On what? On key number 2, on your knowledge of the person that you're dealing with. Your knowledge and your understanding of the person you're dealing with. Why would you set unreasonable expectation on a person that you know doesn't have a 100 LD in his pocket, but you want him to come to you? I mean, why would you set yourself up like that? So it's so important that you bring knowledge and you bring understanding and you bring experience to every situation when you're setting your expectations. Okay. So it's so important. It's so critical. Set reasonable expectations, not only for yourself, but also for your business. Very, very important. Very, very critical. Very, very key to business success, that you set reasonable expectations. And those expectations that you set, those expectations should be in a way with knowledge, with understanding, and you must differentiate, right? The decisions you make with your head and the decisions you make with your heart. Because when you conflict them, then you have issues, you have problems, you have situations, because you set unreasonable expectations in your business or in your life with people and with things and things of that nature. Okay. So again, as I said last week, I think we're reaching the closing year of the show. Small business is the engine of the Liberian economy. Rufus, thank you. Yeah. So I want everyone listening to this show to understand that the small business, okay, the folks at Rally Town Market, the people doing business at Omega Tower Market, Jogbatown Market, Douala Market, and all the markets across all the different counties in the Republic of Liberia. Okay, small business is the engine of the Liberian economy. When you add up all the small business transactions done today on Lone Star Mobile Money, Orange Mobile Money, or with cash back and forth, when you add it all up today, it is greater than the amount of money paid by Firestone, Mittal Steel, or whatever the case for rubber export or for iron ore export. Small business is the engine of the Liberian economy. Now, what will make small business to transform this country into a truly developed nation and a prosperous nation is when the small business people get the proper teaching, the proper coaching, and the proper education to be effective, productive, and successful in their small business so they can become transformational within our economy, within our borders, to produce the fruits that will grow from small business to medium business, create more jobs, transform more lives, and then go from a medium business to a large business, hire more people, create more jobs, transform more lives, pay more taxes, and that's how we grow. So those are the points for today. The 5 points. We will expand next week. Rufus, I'm back to you. So thank you so much once again. And thank you to all the folks who put their time in to listen today. If you want to take a few calls or make a few notes, it's over to you.
All right, that's a fun teaching there. So a hint to a wise is quite sufficient, like you often say. The one who has ears, let him hear. So let's take a few calls, then we'll call it a day on today's presentation of Business Talk here on Love FM 105.1, Love TV Live. Also, we are live on LNN, and we also live on what is station name again?
FM
Okay. So 0887-105-105, 0778-665-073. 0887-105-105, 0778-665-073 are the numbers to call and ask those questions. You can appreciate Mr. Phillips for the teaching, whatever it is, or those questions that you want to ask. You can put forth your calls on 0887-105-105, 0778-665-073. And we live on Radio Joy Africa in Magibie County. Thanks to the folks there in Magibie for carrying us live. Let's go to the line and take this caller. Hello? How are you, sir? What's your name and you join us from where?
Yeah, I'm Mr. George Cooper.
Okay.
Yeah, I filed the book to, I think, to Mr. Phillips.
Okay.
I take my note down. Anytime from now, I'll be calling.
Okay, my brother. Thank you so kindly.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. This is something that is very important to all of us, you know. The media have turned out to be something, every time you hear politics, these are things that we need to be doing, you know. We need to change the narrative and bring back those sweet old days of the media where people get education, people get the necessary education in all shapes and form. Let's go to the line again and take this person. Hello.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, and you?
Wonderful. What's your name? And you join us from where?
I'm Joshua from Benin. I'm joining you from Kakata City, Margibi County.
Oh, let's hear you.
Yes, so firstly, let me take this time to appreciate you, Mr. Rufus, and Mr. Philip. I started following this show last week, and from last week up to now, I'm seeing a positive transformation in my local farming business. And I'm taking this so serious because I'm encouraging other people to follow it, like parents that are engaged into local business this era. So I want to say again, thanks to Mr. Philip, thank you, Mr. Rufus, and thanks to the team, Radio John Africa Kakata. They are relaying the program, or the people are saying that they are calling the radio station number from Kakata, they are not getting it. So we hope that they will work on it the next Saturday, that everyone will be inclusive. Thanks ever so much.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. What a great one. What a great one. A plus for all of us. Indeed, we all have won, and we are winning. We will continue to win by changing the narrative from the political, brainwash of the media to a very unique form wherein Liberians will see themselves as the forerunners of their own economy. Because, mind you, the white man has the technocrats, he has the money, and he has the knowledge. So when he comes to invest in your country, he know where to tackle. Where you think that come on, and the other business say I can't do it. We be selective in our business, and we do not know how to manage. So the women get to the extent of even doing the Liberian businesses that are set aside for Liberians to do. Can you imagine? You have foreigners now doing cold water selling. Those are all businesses for Liberians. But are we seeing these areas in business as important to our growth? We play laissez-faire attitudes. Everybody want to do the white collar job. Somebody going afar and selling charcoal. A foreigner selling charcoal. Where you, the Liberians, you should take the initiative to get involved into kind of businesses because they have money. It's a data work, but it has money. So put forth your calls on 0887-105-105, 0778-665-073. We look forward to having the head of the Liberia Business Association to come here, and encourage the business sector, the Liberian business owners. Yes, because there are a lot of things. I was opportune one point in time to have one-on-one conversation with him. He has a lot. He has the mind for Liberians who are involved with business. But it is the collective effort of all of us to make this thing work, Mr. Phillips. Because mind you, the government has our own role to play.
Let me just chime in here on something, right? Okay, so technology is a very, very great thing. Through the demand, right? The demand the demand in the market. Okay, so there's this thing that everybody in the U.S. now, I think USA, Canada, diaspora, they all have it on their phone. It's called Sendwave. It's an app. Okay. And how did Sendwave come about? Sendwave came about not because of Liberia. No, Sendwave came about because of the demand. There was a need in the market for people in the diaspora to get money instantly into the hands of their loved ones, their friends, their family members. And so people who were, again, vision, right? Let's go back to the 10 keys. People who were in at that level of business saw an opportunity, saw a need. And what did they choose to do? They chose to invest in technology, build the business relationship, set the expectations with the mobile operator in Liberia, Lone Star, MTN. and then introduced Sendwave and connected the diaspora, right, with their family members in Liberia. Okay. So you just brought up the issue of expats or foreigners doing cold water business and charcoal business in Liberia. Okay. Let's tie that into Sendwave. Some people may say that I'm not making any sense here. Let's tie it together. How many Liberians have received $200, $250, or $400 from their loved ones in the U.S. by Sendwave and took that money and burned that money on party and having a good time, as opposed to use that as seed money to invest in cold water or charcoal business that would have turned and created so much money or so much transformation in their lives that they would have. So that's my point. When you see the foreigners, right, in the market doing cold water business and charcoal business, right, they've identified that there's a deficit in the market to meet the demand. So if the Liberians whose country it is are in the country have not yet opened their eyes to see the opportunities that are there to meet the demand in the city of almost 2 million people, okay? You got over 1 million people from Mount Barkley all the way through Central Town, Somalia Drive, or Japan Highway, all the way into Lakiri. You got all those people in that area. Then you bundle in Duazon. And because of the lack of electricity or the means to cook, you don't have cooking gas. The number one fuel in Liberia for cooking is what? It's charcoal. So as a business person, you must understand, again, knowledge, we had it on the key there, that there's a massive demand for this fuel for so many millions of households and homes across this city to cook, to boil water, to boil their tea, make their coffee every day. So the question is, can a local Liberian meet this demand, yes or no? So if you block, I'm not, my point here is, as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, private sector person, there's a lot of thinking that needs to go into that's why we're doing this show, so that we coach, we teach, we educate people, because the Sendwave technology is so important that bridges the Liberian diaspora with the family members who are listening to this show. But the question now becomes, are you asking your sister or your brother, your uncle the right questions? Or you've messed up so many times by eating the money and not producing food that you can't come back to ask them for the money anymore. So that's why we say, listen to business talk. Let us teach you. Let us coach you. So when you do your business plan, you can send to your sister, your brother, they can look through it. You can set reasonable expectations so that when he makes an investment in your cold water business, you can buy a cooler, buy 3 or 4 sacks of water, buy your ice, put it on there, find a location, put it there, and you can sell. And you can grow your business over time. So, the Bible, we being a Christian nation, we all know that saying, right? That teaching from Jesus. He said the mustard seed is the what? Is the smallest of all seeds. Am I right, Rufus? Correct me if I'm wrong. To all the pastors listening. The mustard seed is the smallest of all seeds. And then there's a corresponding scripture that says, well, do not despise humble or small beginnings. Somebody sends you a seed. You take the seed, you bust all the seed, you cook the food, you eat the food, you forget about planting the seeds. Then you eat, you go to sleep, you wake up the next morning, you say, man, we had a good time last night, but you ate all the seeds. Then you come right back and you're sitting in the same situation. No, your seeds is what you plant. And then you tend it, you take care of it, and Jesus continues. But when it is fully grown, that's time. So when that seed that you despise as being a small seed, when you plant it, you take care of it. When it is fully grown, he tells you it grows into a big tree that gives home to even the birds. That's scripture. That's a spiritual principle. So your seed that your sister will send you through Sendwave, what your brother will send you through Sendwave, put together a plan. Share the plan with your sister. Don't just talk to her on the phone. Write the plan down. Set the goals. Send it over to them. Because $150 in the US, Rufus, as you and I talk all the time, $150 may sound like small money in the US, but $150 in Liberia is a lot of seed money to start a micro business or a petty business that can ultimately grow into a medium-sized business. So the responsibility is with us Liberians. It's not with the foreigners. Don't blame them to people, right? What brought the Chinese man, who brought whatever person to Liberia is because they saw opportunity there and they saw a need that we Liberians were not meeting the need. That's why they came there. So when they're selling cold water and they find strategic locations to buy 150 coolers and give it to young Liberians to go and sell the water, you say, well, I'm working for the Chinese man. No. Don't blame the Chinese man. You had the chance. You got the smartphone. You received the money to buy your own cooler, buy your own water, and start your business. Because again, when you go into business, you have identified a need for something. And that's why you're in business to what? To meet that need. And in meeting that need in business, that's how you generate your revenue and you grow in success. So it's no different than any foreign person that comes to Liberia. So we share the greatest blame because we have not yet been transformed in our minds. So that's why Liberia is so attractive, because the opportunities are everywhere. But we need to coach, we need to train, we need to teach, we need to educate. And as you rightly said, when our minds are transformed, then our eyes will be able to open to see the opportunities. And then we can change our behaviors and our actions to produce the transformation from the mind to our actions and then in our societies, and we can grow. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So let's take a few calls. People, please call in and let's have a discussion on the teaching today. Let's have a discussion on the teaching today, because again, we said this is not politics. This is all about transformation in the mind, helping small Liberian businesses with coaching, teaching, educating, enlightening, so that we can be transformational leaders and business people in our own economy and grow from where we are to grow to be a better nation and a bigger nation. So the numbers on the screen, 0887 105 105. If you're listening on Joy Africa FM, that's the number to call in directly onto the show. 0887 105 105 or 0778 665073. Let me call it the Liberian way, right? 0886 66 5073, 0887 105105. What if, Rufus, expand on this Liberian thing. This thing you're talking about, the Liberian business chamber of business leader, or whatever the case is. Expand on that. Because that is something of interest.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good.
Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Zukoro. My name is James M. Will.
Okay, James, let's hear you.
Yeah, I want to tell the Honorable Institute, thank you very much for the education. And actually, I have some serious problems. I really want him to talk about it. For example, like my big sister, she was able to raise like $40,000 US and decided to expand her business like in China. She made the first trip to China, and when she came down to Liberia so that she can be able to raise more money, and they really charged her too much. And after passing through all the process, when she freed the bulls, she said she was not able to actually realize that the same money that she had, she got to start children to Africa. So I think that our approach for business to really improve in Liberia, they really need to work on it more, especially when it comes to Liberia.
Okay. Okay, my brother. Thank you so much.
All right.
Yes, that's something that is very, very serious. In my conversation with the president of LIVA, he stressed on that there is an institution that is operating um, on this tracking issue at the port there. They came up, there was an agreement between they and the government. They have not lived up to the agreement and they are still operating. I'll come in and we get this color. Hello?
Yeah, how you doing, sir?
Wonderful. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Ruth. I'm calling from Moreover.
Okay, let's hear you more.
Yeah, I bless God so much for the knowledge because the Bible says the lack of knowledge, our people perish. Many of us, we've been going down, don't know how to knowledge. I want to say thank you to our Papa for teaching us because for me, I'm a young lady and God has blessed me. I want to start up a little business. So my George Giver connected me to this platform. And I've been following you. I started following you today. So I bless God so much for our daddy. For he gave me more knowledge. And I will always follow you because I love this kind of teaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
We appreciate you so highly.
Eh?
We appreciate you too. We appreciate your following.
Yeah. So I'll be with you all the time.
Okay.
I already follow you. Anytime you're online, I will get to know.
Okay. That's wonderful. So get more of the calls on 0887 105 105 0778 665 Those are the numbers to call and form part. Ask those questions. You listen to the teaching. Mr. Phillips made it plain, very, very understanding. Even the layman can grab something from it and improve on what he or she is doing at the moment in terms of business. All right. This is Business Talk right here on Love FM 105.1. And we are your presenters, of course, Mr. Elkina Ab Phillips. He's there in the USA. And my name is Rufus Divan Conan. I'm right here in Liberia together. You see what technology is doing. Another thing we want to bring to the attention of our people, Mr. Phillips, is this thing that has to do with making use of the internet in Ghana, Nigeria, and other countries. Even the woman who sells the color, the pepper color, she take advantage of the social media, and she transact her business because in Nigeria you don't really see this cash to cash thing. They have their PSO on the PS some PSO or PS something, where you give your bank card, they swap it, the payment is done immediately. They don't carry cash with them because of the robbery issues. And the country is highly when it comes to that. So in Liberia, we can take advantage of this. We can make sure to have ourselves get the smartphone, have your WhatsApp. People make transaction through WhatsApp. You selling your pepper color. You put on your page the nice pictures of your pepper color. If people want to get the pepper color, where do they get the pepper color? They can put in their orders through your WhatsApp number. They can pay the money through your mobile money, and then you do the delivery. And you seen it right there through the social media. Instead of you passing all around the place, pepper color, you can sit right at home in your little corner. You have your stuff already prepared. Put the necessary information on your social media handles, the Facebook, the WhatsApp. You can interact with people. Somebody said, but not everybody, the woman who sells the pepper in the market, she's not literate. She's illiterate. How can she go ahead getting involved with the social media? There are a lot more we can do in transforming and attracting people to our business. We spend all of the time. We spend all of the time on Facebook doing nothing. we're looking at people drama. And that drama we're looking at, people making money. They make the people that are causing the drama, they're making more money because their pages are monetized. So the more you troop on to their pages and watch the views increase, this is the kind of money they generate. So you can use that airtime to make your own business flourish. Let's go ahead, Mr. Philip.
Yeah. Okay. So the point you made is this, right? Okay. So to the lady who called, thank you so much for calling in. The program is every Saturday from 9 a.m. I'm sorry, from 2 o'clock p.m. Liberia time. The program comes on every Saturday. It's a teaching, it's a class. Okay. You know, I was talking to somebody yesterday, coaching them a little bit on business. And I said, look, when you watch all of these European football league, right? The great player Ronaldo, right? Ronaldo. Okay. So Ronaldo didn't get to be like that when he came out of his mother's womb, right? He had to go through teaching. He had a coach. And when you watch the games, one thing you notice about the game, very important, if you watch any football game this afternoon, the coach is never on the field. He's behind the white line. Am I correct? Right? The coach runs up and down the right-hand side, and they limit him how far he can go. Am I correct or wrong? Right? Okay. But he never comes on the field to play with the players. Okay. Now, so that's our job. We are your coach. We don't get involved in your business, so we have a limitation. But the thing is, the players, who is you, the person who's doing the business, you have to pay attention to what the coach directs you to do, because the coach knows better. The coach has the experience, the coach has the knowledge. So he's telling you what to do. And if you follow what the coach does, you score a goal. You get my point. Okay. Now, Rufus just brought up a very important point. The thing here is, every market that is transformational, right? Every time people in a market, in a society, grows in knowledge and experience, they become transformed. They become mentally transformed. And once you become mentally transformed, when your mind is transformed, when you change, what happens? You become something better. I'll prove it to you. The butterfly you see didn't start off as a butterfly. It started off as an egg. We all do it in science class. It became an egg. Then it sat there, it grew into a caterpillar. It ate up all the cassava leaf and the potato grain in the garden, and then it went into the cocoon. And then from the cocoon, it came out to be a beautiful butterfly. So that's what we call transformation. Transformation. So every market has to be transformed. Okay. Now, if you are in prison and somebody gave you the bunch of keys and tell you to get out of jail, how can you open the door if you don't know which key on the bunch of keys to open that you will use to open the door? We've got mobile money in Liberia. Are we actually using the tool effectively? We've got smartphones from Lone Star, from Orange, and all the private stores in town. Are you using the smartphone effectively or ineffectively? So all the tools to transform the Liberian economy are there through Liberian businesses. But the Liberian businesses are not coached effectively, and they're not spending the time they're not investing their time into coaching so that it will become transformed and to become better business people. You follow what I'm saying, Rufus? So this thing is a two-way street. We do the show. It is your responsibility to say, you know what? This show is important to my transformation in my business to make me a better business person, so that as I transform, my business will improve and my life will also change. So the mobile money is there. So you doing business, the pimping riders are there. Why is it not possible for someone to take their money and make the proper investment in pimping rider to be able to move goods from point to point? That's a business by itself. the other gentleman that called and talked about his sister brought money, that bought goods and brought it in, right? Okay. Let's talk about that. There's a very important aspect of business. I see a lot of Liberians have failed in business, including myself when I started off. It's called business development. Write it down. It's called business development. And what business development is, it is the most crucial part of starting the business, meaning you have to develop the business. Have you done the market research? Have you identified what the people want? Do you know where they want it? Do you know whether the market can afford it? Whether the salaries and the money that people have in the market can pay for it? Did you check to see what the port would charge to bring all of those things in? Do you know whether the port would charge you this, the duty rates and things like that? So you make sure that the business case, write it down, the business case is effective, is proper, and you've done the proper research and study. You don't just get up, take your money and say, you know what, I'm going to go to China and buy a whole bunch of lighters and bring it to Liberia and sell it because people will buy it. You've done no business development. You've done no research. You haven't identified the points that could make you to fail, okay? You haven't done any of that. None of that you've done. And then all of a sudden you put your money into something, you brought it in. Even if you clear the ports, guess what? The market rejects it. So you've got to develop the market so that's why we who are in sales and business development and marketing, we always start off with what we call, write it down, it's called samples. You bring some sample products in the market. You introduce the samples into the market. See what the response is. See what the feeling is. You do your market analysis. You use, like Mr. Rufus said, you use Facebook to publicize this thing. If you bring a new medication in, you find out, identify, research, and everything else. So that when you've done your market research one, you've done your business development two, then what you're doing is you're reducing your chances of failure. Every step you take towards market research, every step you take towards business development, every step you take towards investigating, you are reducing your chances of failure and you are increasing your chances of success. It is so important. And this is why so many people fail. It's not because you plan to fail. It's simply because you failed to plan. You didn't do your proper research. You didn't do your proper business development. You didn't bring samples into the market. You didn't go around to ask people. You didn't pay people like Rufus to come on the program and say, you know what, let me do this thing on Facebook and then let me get on the radio to ask the market what they think or what they feel about it. You just got up, took money, bought the thing, put it in suitcases or whatever the case. You pay all your money, $20,000, $10,000 or $15,000, $20,000, pack it up, brought it in the country and decide to sell it and everybody rejects it. And then when all of a sudden you have to bring the price so low and now people don't even want it, people can't even afford it. You didn't even check whether it uses electricity or not, but you brought it in anyway, but nobody got light. So then what happens? All your money goes into things. Then by the time you come back, you say, oh, the people in Liberia, they're not serious. No, you are the one who was not serious because you didn't do your proper research, your proper business development. You didn't do all of those things that need to be done to make sure that you will be successful. You will reduce your failure and you will increase your opportunity or your chance to succeed. Liberia is a very good place to do business. Major success opportunities are in Liberia. And SendWave, the technology, mobile money, the technology, Liberians in the US can bridge their billions of dollars of Liberian private sector money, Liberian business diaspora money, billions that can be connected to direct Liberians in Liberia to do business, to transform and to energize our economy. But the Liberians on the Liberian side haven't gotten the proper training, coaching, teaching, education, enlightenment so that they will be able to connect with their friends, loved ones, and relatives in the US, write the business plan so that those people can invest in those businesses. So that's why we see the economy where it is, because that bridging hasn't been done. Part of it is done. But the small Liberian businesses, the petty businesses, the medium businesses haven't had or haven't acquired or haven't put their time into the proper coaching so that they will be able to grow and become transformational. That's where our challenge, and that's what this show is all about. This show is committed to that. I am committed to that. Mr. Rufus Divine Kana is committed to that. Love FM is committed to that. Joy FM Africa is committed to that. So we'll relay this. We will put our time into it. And as business people, just how you're investing your money in your business to generate revenue to succeed, this is a major investment for you to put your time into this program. Is 1.5 hours. If you put in 1.5 hours into this program every week, write down the points and implement the points within that week, you will ultimately see the transformation in your mind, the way you think, the way you see your business, and you will ultimately see transformation in your sales and in your revenue and the level of your business. That's how it works. That's how it works.
Well, this business is all time bound, and time have called up with us. We went the extra mile today. It is very important. It's for what it costs. Any final word for the folks before we take leave of them?
Well, all I can say is, once again, Rufus, thank you so much for the time. Thank you to all of those who listen. Thank you to Joy FM Africa in Kakata for relaying the program, and next week we'll be relaying it again. To all of those who listen, the business people, to the lady who called, I think from Dupo Road, thank you so much for listening. Tell more of your friends. Tell more of your friends who are petty traders, small business people, that this is the show that will coach, that will train, that will teach, that will educate. Next week, when you come to listen, get yourself a small copybook, get yourself a pen, and sit down so you can learn different things. You can write them down, study them, implement them in your business, and you will see the transformation. Okay. So we're committed to transforming Liberian businesses. And I mean, I'm excited about this show. And I think our third edition or fourth edition will be bringing, like you said, the president or the leader of the Liberian Business Association. So we'll be able to ask him questions and things like that. And then we'll also be bringing Liberian businesses in Liberia and asking them how these 10 points affect their business as well. And then we'll be bringing business people, Liberian business people from the US, and then bringing them on the show to ask them the same questions. How can we connect Liberian businesses in the US and in Liberia so we can transform minds and ultimately our economy to grow and to succeed in the ECOWAS, in the Mana River Union and the ECOWAS region as a whole. So thank you so much to everyone who listened. Don't forget, next week is going to be pop quiz. Rufus, please send me that gentleman, the winner's information, so I can send him his prize by Sendwave. Okay.
Jusu is one of the individuals. Jusu, you can just post your number. Let me have your number to Jusu. So because you're one of those who participated fully and gave answers. So Jusu, you can just send me your number, or you just post your number here. Let me get it quickly before we wind down the curtains on the show today. Jusu and you, Leon. Okay, I have Leon numbers. You were 886-569-849. Okay, I'll definitely send that to you. On this note, Jusu, that you are telling me now. It's good. Actually, man, I must appreciate you for every time I sit here having conversation with you, even behind the scene, is so rewarding. You are the reservoir of knowledge that our generation needs at this time. I always say to my young friends, politics is taking us far from the reality. If only you get to know that politics is taking you far from the reality, take a look at what is happening with our legislators. Look around there. They are all self-seeking, wanting to ride $45,000 car where you don't have drug in the hospital. The clinics are all complaining there's no drug, there's no services, adequate services for operation. You see that? No fuel, no electricity. These are things that they should be pushing forth. Say, I will demonstrate. I will not ride my $45,000 car until I see a clinic being constructed in my district. I will not ride my $45,000 car or not request a $45,000 car where I can get a $3,000 car and the rest of it go to my district for its development. But they are demanding $45,000 car. So okay, Jusu, I got your number now. Then we have to go. It was wonderful, and it's always wonderful. Make it a date on next Saturday when we will be around here by God's grace to delve into more knowledgeable tools for your business development. Until I have the time, like I always say, there are two things in this life you always will remember for: the problems you create and the problems you solve. And you must take responsibility of two things in your life: your fortune and that of your misfortune. All right? So until we have this time, folks, in union, strong success is show. With God above our rights to prove, we over all prevail. With hearts and hands, our country cause defending, we meet the foe with valor unpretending. Have you and yours a pleasant and godly day. Follow the rest of our broadcast. On this note, this is how we wind down the curtains on the program. Business Talk, Business Talk, Business Talk on Love FM 105.1.
Business Talk. In 1 hour 30 minutes, we provide listeners with up-to-date information and insights into various aspects of business and finance. We engage in insightful discussions with local and international business leaders, economists, entrepreneurs, and other professionals. Join Love FM 105.1 and Love TV Live this and every Saturday from 2 to 3:30 p.m. for the program Business Talk. Gain valuable insights into the world of business as we profile successful Liberian entrepreneurs in and out of Liberia as they provide business strategies, entrepreneurship, and financial planning. Business Talk, your one-stop shop in the world of business. It's on Love FM 105.1 every Saturdays, 2